Coach, it's Dave and Jeff. It's great to talk to you again. Thank you so much for being part of day one as we join Double X 1090. What was your expectation for this team coming into the year?
We had expectations, probably because of all we lost. The outside expectations weren't quite as high as they might have been otherwise. But we felt we had a chance to be good. We have probably exceeded most expectations with our one-loss record. Very proud of how we've played and how we've finished games.
What is the biggest difference as far as exceeding expectations? Do you think it's the maturity factor? I mean, we hear over and over again about the horrendous trip you guys took, but everybody put it behind them, behaved like men, and they went along their business to go ahead and focus on basketball.
I think in the world that we live in sports, most people are plagued by our unrealistic expectations, people that think they should never lose a game or even get scored on, which is craziness, but that's fans. And they have, just like parents with their own children, they have ways of viewing their own that's a bit unrealistic. And you have to set your own bar and not worry so much about what others are saying. I do think that a combination of talent, which we do have, but also a huge 34-3 season a year ago with a lot of these people being on the team, not playing as prominent a roles as they are now, has allowed us to believe, as our fans have chanted, we believe that we're going to find a way to be successful, and we've done that.
Talking to Coach Steve Fisher joins us. It's the Dave and Jeff Show on San Diego Sports Leader Double X 1090. Coaches, Dave and I were getting ready to relaunch this show. It's been fun for me as I kind of reflected back. And I mentioned 99 and our first opportunity to visit with you. Look back at that time. You talk about setting the bar. What was the bar when you got here? And what do you remember about that time, where the program was and where it is today?
Most fans who were a part of our program then know it was apathy at best, to be quite honest with you, and nobody seemed to care, and recruits were the same way. They didn't feel as if it was a program that had won or could win, and our thought and goal was, yes, we can, and in order to do that, we've got to get out and roll up our sleeves and put our face in front of recruits, their parents, the alum posse, the alumni, everybody else. My first year, I spoke at 74, 75 different events, everything from small 20 people coffee groups to 400 or 500 Kiwanis members.
Wow.
And we did things you have to do. But the most important thing we did is we recruited and worked hard to do that.
You know, it's absolutely amazing. You talk about setting the bar, and you've set the bar tremendously high. Overall, and I'm an Aztec alum. I'm very proud to be in San Diego. Jeff, the same. And you might be the best hire in the history of the school, because you look at what that program was, and it really, when I was here as a student, it was like they were playing in a high school gym. And you're thinking there's no way basketball is ever going to be big time here in San Diego. They weren't playing at the sports arena anymore. And then for the program to be what it is, to get a coach with the resume that you had to decide to come to San Diego. Just curious, looking back, what made San Diego appealing to you to take this job?
I think a lot of things factor in. One, Rick Bay, the current athletic director, was someone that I knew from our history. We weren't back at the same university at the same time, but we knew one another. So that was somewhat appealing. There was a man with impeccable integrity who I trusted. When I met at then President Stephen Weber, I got a feeling that he knew what he needed, what he wanted, the importance of athletics as a front porch window to a university. All those things factored in. But probably, to be honest with you, the most important thing was the family decision. I had a young son at the time who was going to be an eighth grader, did not want to leave Ann Arbor, Michigan, cried and cried and cried, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't put him in a situation where he had to leave someplace else. So I knew there was security here. I got a long-term contract, so I knew that I could get him through high school if all else didn't go the way we had planned it to go. So you factor a lot of things in, but you roll all that in, and I, with all my heart, believed that we could win. That there was everything here. We just had to convince the recruits that this was a viable option and that we could win. So those things factored in, and the people have been fantastic. Our administration, our alums, our fans have been sensational.
It's been another incredible year for Steve Fisher's Aztecs, 20-3, 6-1 in the Mountain West, ranked 13th by the AP, 14th in the ESPN USA Today poll. Doesn't get any easier. Saturday, they travel to Vegas to take on UNLV. You can see that game 1 p.m. Pacific time on the NBC Sports Network. Coach, there's a lot of really great venues in the Mountain West, the Pit and UNLV. When you travel to UNLV, there's always energy in that building, but how has that energy changed as your team has gotten better?
I don't know that the energy has changed. That's a tough place to play, and it will be packed with Vegas fans. We will have a handful. We don't get very many tickets, and they'll have a huge crowd. It's a great atmosphere. We have had good success lately against UNLV. Almost every game has gone down to just like ours did in the first one here. Minute to go, 30 seconds to go, last possession, either team having a chance to win. And we have won more than our share recently. Our hope is to continue that. But Vegas is probably the most talented team in our league. You know what their resume is.
Oh, yeah.
At the time, number 1 rated North Carolina. They go into Chicago and really, for a home game, beat the University of Illinois. They've had a great season, and they're loaded with players.
Coach, we talk about atmosphere in buildings, and when I moved here in 81, we'd go out, watch Aztec basketball through the years at the San Diego Sports Arena. It was almost empty, then through Peterson Gym, now at Viejas. And I'm just wondering for you, we started by reflecting back to 1999. How weird is it for you, or weird is probably not the right word, but how great is it for you to look at the attention that the show and the whole atmosphere at Viejas Arena is getting, not only here in San Diego, but nationwide? It's become a college basketball hotbed. Really, really fun. I would think you got to take a lot of pride in that.
It's immensely gratifying for all of us to go into our building now and to see our fans and the energy and enthusiasm that they bring, the enjoyment they have, and how they have created or helped create one of the finest home courts in all of college basketball. It truly is something that we are all very proud of, and we don't take it for granted. I think that's why it's been spontaneous. It hasn't been created by me in terms of what our players do in recognition of our fans and letting them know how much they appreciate them. They acknowledge that. We all talk about it, and we need them. But I would say this, that I've had coaches, Mike Montgomery from Cal Berkeley came in and said it's amazing the atmosphere in our building. It's the best. It's by far the best on the West Coast, and it is one of the best in the country.
Amazing. Never thought I'd see it in San Diego. We're speaking with Steve Fisher, head coach of the San Diego State Aztec basketball team. Aztecs, once again, 20-3, playing fantastic basketball 2 straight years, and people look for them to go deep. March Madness. Coach, you've had a chance to win a national championship. You know what it's like to be in the big game. As basketball fans, because we love these guys, how far away are we from saying, well, you know what, this could be the year that we make it to that championship game?
Well, you have to first get into the tournament, which we all know. If you want to catch the biggest fish, you got to get in the boat,
Yep.
Get in there and throw your line in the water, and that's our goal. We want to make the tournament. And then when you get in the tournament, you want to win. And we are, to be honest with you, from that vantage point, still somewhat a neophyte, getting our legs about us. We won last year, first time ever, a postseason NCAA Division I tournament game. We won 2 games, got to the Sweet 16. A year ago, we felt as if we were as good as anybody in the country. We lost a hard-fought game to Connecticut that we could have won. They go on to win the national championship. That's how close we were a year ago.
Wow.
This year, we don't have, our margin for error is not quite that. And yet, get in the tournament. Craziness happens. So that's our goal, is to get in the tournament, and then we'll take our chances from there.
Coach, final one from me. Appreciate the time. Great article today written by Mark Ziegler, and I understand that there's a lot of things that would have to fall into place, but the idea of playing a game, a home game, on a Navy ship, the Midway or one of the active ships, what an incredible thrill for your kids and everybody involved in that program. As you hear talk of it, how great would that be for your program? How great would it be for this city to have San Diego State men's basketball part of an incredible event like that?
I would say, kind of to wrap up what both of you have talked about the whole time I've been on, is we've grown our program to where now I think we merit an opportunity, and we would represent in every fashion playing in an event, such as playing on one of the carriers. I think that we have a program now that people talk about, and if that were to happen, and I'm sure that there's talk out there. I haven't read the article yet. If that were to happen, it would be a tremendous honor for our program, players, university, and fans in a military community to play in a venue like that. It would be a great honor for us, and we would look forward to it.
Unbelievable, the accomplishments in Steve Fisher's 13 years at San Diego State. As we said, 20-3, 6-1 in the Mountain West, currently ranked 13th in the AP poll, 14 for ESPN. They traveled to Vegas to take on number 14 UNLV. That game Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific. You can watch it on the NBC Sports Network. Coach, for Dave and I, it's always a thrill to visit with you. Congratulations, continued success, and we look forward to catching up with you again real soon.
Jeff, Dave, thank you very much. Good luck to you guys as you get moving on your show, and I'm proud to be one of your first guests.